What's up? What's popping? What's Gucci? Welcome to yet another exciting and quite controversial episode of Varsity Vitality. I am your host, Mamii, not your mother.
And I am Uncle Curtly. Kurt by name and not by nature. Yes, Varsity Vitality is about getting into the hooks and the crooks and the deeps and the downs of matters that surround everything to do with students. And, we are on the backdrop of having talked about something controversial, which was student accommodation. As if that wasn't enough, we went ahead and talked about cohabiting. But this time,
Haulume.
This time, Haulume for sure. And if you are in the comment section, if you are following us via the Facebook page or the Twitter space, we want to hear your viewpoint on this particular topic. Mamii, drumroll.
Today, our topic for this episode is I'm a blesser. Oh, humble, I'm a blesser. Is that the lyric?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But today we'll be talking about blessers, how they're interacting with university students, how they've affected or even elevated. We don't know. We'll find out in this episode.
And is here to help us find out. Give us deeper depth. I mean, she's a former student. And she's doing so well right now. She's a brand ambassador.
A TikToker.
A marketing strategist. An Instagrammer with 10K followers.
What?
And trust me, this ain't no blesser who's blessed her with these followers. She's did this herself. And it's none other than Barbie Calex. So you do want to stay tuned. You do want to hear a little bit more about that as we get into it. But Mamii, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
As a student yourself, you're currently in these settings. Maybe it was different back in the day when we were there. Panyaya yekuti mari inopinda and unotoishandisa and then you are now asked for you to return the favor. Put in a situation like that. I'm putting you on the spot.
Easy money. Who does not want easy money, first of all? This is free money coming to you, but it's also coming at a bit of a consequence. You'll now be asked to do some other weird things you'd not normally do. The first one being that of being with someone who's way older than you. But from a personal view, for me, right, I've always stood to want to see my potential, exhausted at least, and see where my raw hands and my raw mind can take. Very much. And I'm so excited for the little stories we're going to be hearing about the blesser life itself. We have stories that we're hearing of experience and how usually the situations go about.
Chilling.
Stay tuned in as we get into today's topic.
This is Varsity Vitality,
your campus heartbeat.
Now, as promised, we are excited in studio today to have another guest host who's going to tell stories from her university viewpoint. Yes, she is now in business. She is now an entrepreneur. She's also a brand ambassador. She's also dominating the airwaves in many ways. But one thing we know about Barbie Calex is she was a student from the University of Zimbabwe. Barbie, such a pleasure to have you on Varsity Vitality.
Thank you so much, guys.
We welcome you here, and we can't go without saying, well, me as an uncle, you and Mamii. Oh, you guys are looking spliff.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm going to say, I'll pop my collar, but I'm doing like it.
It's not bad.
All right. So obviously we want to hear your student viewpoint. This is a topic about blessers. This is a topic about older men preying on younger girls in the university setting. My lecturer. Mamii, right now you're in uni.
Yeah.
And it's happening, right?
It's actually still happening. Yeah, it's something that's really
the reality of the matter is it's something that I don't think it will stop unless there's something that will put a stamp on it. Yeah. But give us a brief experience about what you saw. Because to use it, panic up against with dust. And big cars were seen driving in that car park. And in my experience as well, I felt like a small boy because it would be the LED lights, it would be the big bottles of champagne, okay, let me not preempt, go for it.
Like you said, dust.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start, guys. I don't even know where to start,
Yeah.
but I think everyone would agree with me. Kana Friday ashika.
Yeah.
We're getting into it.
Right.
The Friday plan starts Mascati. It doesn't start na 6.
Yeah.
10.
You know, it starts Mascati. And this is how it went by. So if I have a friend that I know who is a guy and he is connected to the Blessers.
Okay.
So what they would do is already, I think, on a Thursday.
Wait, let's rewind. First of all, what is a blesser?
Right. I think how we can put it is a provider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. You know, I like how Kanyimbao says, I attract money. So, you know, these people are the people who have money.
Okay.
So they can shower it because they
Yeah.
can bless you with things that you do. It's like Father Christmas, you know?
Yeah,
He
okay.
blesses you on a Christmas. But in this case, the blessers bless you on any other day.
Okay.
So that's how it is like.
So in
Now
a
back-
relationship ere kana kuti
I think it depends on the people. I mean, you could either have a genuine relationship with the
Okay.
blessers or it's just a contract, you know, enjoyment.
A
You're having
contract.
fun. Yes.
So it's an
Does it have a
exchange.
duration or contract? Okay, on these terms, you're not allowed to call my wife. Not allowed to.
Yeah, I think it has that from the stories
Okay.
I've heard.
Okay.
From the stories I've heard, it really is like that. There are terms and conditions to it.
Okay.
So yes, so it is like, I remember at one time, me and my friend, we were going to get groceries.
Yeah.
And on our way, then a car stops by. I mean, we were going past that funny shops.
Groombridge.
Groombridge, exactly.
Yeah,
so we're
yeah,
going there and, you know, we're walking and this car pulls up and then this guy, he's like, I can't say a guy, okay, this man.
Okay.
And then he comes through, he's like, guys, how are you? Where you guys headed to? And we're like, no, we're going to Groombridge. And it's like, what are you guys going to do? We're like, we're just going to get groceries, right? And my friend is like, dude, this is like free transport, hey? We're not going to walk. I mean, let's get into it.
Okay.
We're like, okay, cool. So we get in the car and policy, we sit at the back. He's like, why are you guys
Did you
sitting
say
at
it's
the
your
back?
policy?
Yeah, like, no, like, if I don't know you, I'm going to sit at the back. There's no way I'm going to sit in front.
All right.
So-
this is fun.
What he rushes to do, he's like, guys, so what are your names? Never say your real name. That's it. So he's just going to say, yeah, we
Okay.
never say your real name.
Okay, now with a guy at Kukunyenga, regardless of age.
Yeah,
you just
regardless of
say-
age. Like, I never say my real name.
Yeah.
I'm always going to say some funny name.
Yeah.
So we lie our names and he's like, okay, cool. So we thought, okay, fine. He's just going to take us there. And that's just it. As we're about to step out, he pulls out his card and he's like, so my pin is this, and that.
What? For you guys to go shopping using his card?
Exactly, for our stuff. It's not even his stuff. You know, so we're shocked. We're like, okay, it's that easy? We didn't know. But anyway,
What year were you in?
this was my second year.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
this was my second year,
Yeah.
second semester.
All right.
Right. So we're in it and we got the card. We're like, babe, this is the time. I mean, we're going to get things that we never bought with our own money. Let's get to it, you know.
Okay.
We're going to get shit we never, ever used to get.
Yeah.
So we're filling up. And we go there. We swipe everything. She's got her own trolley. I have my own trolley. It's packed, guys. I'm not talking about just having, you know,
to the
A
brim.
plastic
to the
bag.
brim. I mean, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
So whatever happens. And that's how it is. And we
Yeah.
went, we shopped. We're back. We're like, there you go with your card. Because we don't care if it's on the minors now. Because, I mean, you gave it to us.
Without
Yeah,
you
true.
guys even asking.
So
Yeah.
that's how it was. And we went back. And when we got back on campus, this guy goes on to say, so guys, what is your status like financially? Like, you know, just tell us how much. Actually, the word he used was, can you rate your welfare?
Oh.
Right.
That's
just
diff-
rate your
That
welfare.
is different.
Direct like
Direct like that. Just rate your welfare.
Okay.
So me and my friend were like, I don't know, it's like a 7.5. I don't know. What do you want me to say?
What's like,
Yeah.
It's like a
what's the-
7.5. And he's like, okay. And he was like, how about we make it hit a 10 out of 10?
Okay.
Just like that. I mean, you see how you're speechless.
So he's suggesting that he takes you from a 7.5 rating out of 10
Yes.
to a 10 out of 10
to a 10 out of 10.
with him being the supplier.
Exactly.
Okay.
And provider.
And provider.
Okay, so this lingo inekamweka kutaura kakuti like a young person would understand. Good, okay, what is he actually trying to say?
Exactly.
But you have to be quick to understanding these old people. Good, okay, this is what he's
Okay,
trying
that's,
to
that's what he's probably trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
Bobby.
I see this
Bobby,
as
hold
a
up.
no. If you look at it, you see it as a way
We
of
don't know
trying
his
to.
age.
Yeah, we
no,
don't
no,
know
no.
his Right?
This is a way of
assume it.
trying to run away from being an offender. Do you get what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Oh,
Unakagara,
yes.
I never
Oh, yeah,
told you that I want
yeah.
to sleep with you. I suggested it. You're
Yeah.
the one who said, take off my clothes. You know, type
Exactly.
situation.
Right.
Did you never ask for my money? That's the context of the conversation. It's balanced, Kuti. Asa Zonzi, he was wrong or you were wrong or what. This is a
Right.
mutual agreement.
I see.
I get.
That's
so
deep.
So I want to believe that this is how these blessers manage to talk to these girls.
Yes.
Because
so-
it's not a matter of him just having to be on campus.
Okay.
He knows the spots where you're going to be at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he can
And the
simply
areas.
just,
Whisk
be
you
there.
away.
Yeah. And you mentioned how now you guys are talking about padast. We need to
Yeah.
get back to that story.
That story
where
needs
there's
to
a
begin.
friend that then links you.
So you
Right.
said she mentioned a word which is kubika.
Okay.
Anzi
That's
unobikwa,
fine.
anzi maplans anobikwa Thursday.
Anobikwa on
So take us
Thursday.
through that. Take
Okay.
us through that.
Okay, so I think this is what happens. You know, like how weekend approaches and
Yes.
everybody, we're so excited.
Uh-huh.
I've seen posts saying, guys, let's push, it's almost Friday. I
All
think
right.
it's the same thing,
Yeah.
So I want to believe that these people discuss these matters on a Thursday and say,
Okay.
guys, okay, tomorrow is Friday.
Nrukusvika.
What's the plan? I
Okay.
need the baddest.
Okay.
Make sure you bring the baddest girls.
Okay.
So now what happens is this guy who is a uni boy, a Yuba, right? What he does is like he approaches me, Barbie, so what's the Friday plan? And maybe I don't have a plan. And I'm like, oh, okay, I don't have a plan. I'm not doing anything. The next thing he says is, okay, so how many of your friends? I mean,
Yeah, just bring some
Murivangani,
friends.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
They're like, we're about 6. It's like, okay, 6 is a good number. So how about we go to Holiday Inn? And trust me, what happens is for first years,
Yes.
you're probably not exposed to this kind of life.
Oh, okay.
So uchavhunduka Holiday Inn
Muri
because
vulnerable.
hausati wambopinda muholiday Inn. Saka zvichatovhundudza.
And it's not on your faces.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Shout out
it's
to
your
all those
daughter.
from Bindura, by the way.
Where the exposure is a
So next thing is like, okay, so then you're like, oh, okay, fine, Friday, okay. So who's gonna be there? He'll be just like, nah, he's my brother. That's the term. they
Yeah,
use.
yeah, yeah.
Don't
Oh.
ever think they're gonna put it out straight out and be like, it's a blesser.
It's so
They'll
you
always be
feel
like,
safe. It's someone umurimake.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, okay. It's
So
no
what's your
problem.
connection to this guy, Anobika? How? Classmates?
Exactly.
Friend?
This can be-
Boyfriend? Can a boyfriend be
No,
you?
definitely. Unless he doesn't love you. Trust me. If he doesn't love you, he's gonna sell you out because he's gonna think about money at the end of the day.
Husaka pane mari inotopiwa mufana uyu pakati.
Get
Exactly.
money.
They get money.
Oh.
Catch us live every week on Facebook and Twitter. Follow at Varsity Vitality and be heard. Be heard. Varsity Vitality, your campus heartbeat.
Okay. So now you're in the hotel. It's your first time. It's not a usual environment for you.
Yeah.
Then what?
Okay, so isn't you went as a group, right?
Yes.
And remember, the runner is there to make sure you guys are comfortable.
With your brother.
Yes, with the brother.
Okay.
Because we do not know this brother, but we want to be comfortable. So
Okay.
we get there and, drinks. They're going to offer you guys, what are you drinking?
What
they
do
can
you
even
want?
ask you before you even go to Holiday Inn because they want to make sure everything is on spot. So they're going to ask you what you drink. Even food-wise, well catered for.
Okay.
So you get there.
So right now they're good people.
They're good
saints.
people, and now they're saints.
They're
You feel
just
safe. You're like,
feeding
okay.
the poor,
And they're probably not good.
Yes.
Feeding of the 5,000, they really don't care at this
Yes.
point, And, they don't put pressure on you.
Okay.
So they're not going to put pressure like, hey, try to talk to me or anything. They just let things flow.
Uh-huh.
And what happens now is the blesser has to pick a certain girl out of the group. And that person becomes the sacrificial lamb.
for the whole
For the whole
everything that's
squad.
happening.
Yes. So that person is going to take one for the team.
Okay.
But what happens is these boys don't tell you that someone is going to get sacrificed.
Because you just went thinking, no, we're just going for
It's
chills,
genuine.
for
It's
drinks.
chills. Yeah. You know, you don't have a plan. It's just chills. And they will tell you that it's nothing. Because if they tell you there's a condition, you're not going to go.
Yeah.
So what they need to do is to make sure Curtly will be like, no, I'm going to be there. Everything is fine. You can come back whatever time you want to
So
come
they
back.
want to make this seem as if this was your decision.
Yes.
Everything.
Everything.
Kuti zvitonge wangosangana none guy kuma chills and you decided, no, let's have fun tonight. Let's do this. But initially, it was pre-planned.
It was pre-planned.
Okay.
Wow.
And they can even put pictures you know, because the blesser wants to see the kind of dages that are coming through.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, there's this one, there's this one, there's this one. Okay, you know, and they pick, and the sacrificial lamb will become the sacrificial lamb at the end of the day. But it's up to you to choose. Shirino zongofa.
As they say.
Wow. You know, but at the end of the day, it's still your choice. But now the thing is, kuti wakufeel like you to wadoro re munu, wajika chikafu che munu. Now you're trying to feel like, okay, I can't see number. Exactly. Now you feel like you kind of like owe them. So you might just end up doing whatever that has to happen. And maybe for some people at first, they're not trying to do that. They're just trying to set a foundation. So at first it could just be foundation. So the next time he calls you again, you're going to come willingly without the runner in it now.
Because didn't seem like a beast. He seemed like a gentle dove.
Like a gentle guy. Yes. And this time you can actually go wega. And this is where relationships can be formed.
Oh, yeah.
Because now,
Okay.
Yeah. So,
and your friends don't need to know you're actually in love with this guy or having something.
Yeah, I don't know if they're your friends. I mean, you guys either talking about it or they don't know. I don't know. It's just now a matter of what you guys think. So now this converts you to become a sugar baby.
So there's a term.
There is a term.
Wow. There's a term that they call people that actually want to be part of this stuff. Kuna sugar daddy, then kuna sugar baby.
Sugar baby. Yes.
All right, so balance me, because a lot has just been said. A lot has just happened from Holiday Inn to the
to the sugar baby.
To the sugar baby. So, you are aware that this man may be married as a sugar baby. You do have the knowledge that this man as well is in a position that he can supply your financial needs, and you are now comfortable with the term and being called a sugar baby because you're rolling with the sugar daddy. All right. I'm balanced.
Yes. So now it's just a matter of, as a sugar baby, you guys have terms and conditions. Like you mentioned, as the person married. He could tell you all that information. He could. But because they know that they still have that morality, you know, like a moral and everything, you know. They don't want to hear about you're married. As soon as you mention that, I'm going to cut it off. He's just not going to tell you that. He will just give you some funny story.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll be
you might eventually find out.
You could
and now
eventually.
we're all comfortable and you're like, no, I need this life. So what's the stress?
And if you're somebody who likes fast life, you're going to say, okay, what's the point? I'm getting like $100. At the end of the month, I'm getting girlfriend, sugar baby, allowance. I mean, getting back to zero.
Where did they get in the way of your relationships? Because also, until you're still in a life of varsity life,
yes.
And that are hitting on you and everything. So I'm sure you could have gone there having maybe one or two people that you had flings with, or maybe you hadn't officialized with. And I'm sure maybe you are going to get to a point where this person you're just meeting up to have to please his sexual desires, right?
Yeah.
There's a time where you're gonna need someone to be comforting you, like emotional balance,
right?
Yeah.
You know,
so I mean, the Curtly of the picture still can be there, right?
We can balance it.
Because we did have a guest who came here and said there's a specific type of boyfriend.
Yes.
One can be a charmer, one can be a financial provider, and the other one is another spectrum on itself.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's that balance. And, you know, sometimes attention can never be given by these characters you're speaking about.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And I do know as well that money can never come from Curtly, who's in second year with you.
Yeah. Who's also in the same situation as you. So what I want to understand is, where is the balance? Because we see there's some stories, I know Zongo Safese Kutanzi, the girl anga in a blazer, but we see them and a boyfriend. Does the blazer not get in the way of this relationship? How does, I don't know if you understand where my question is coming from.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I do. I think now it depends with the person, like the kind of relationship that you have with the initial boyfriend that you actually have. Are you just there for love, or you're also just using him just like the sugar daddy? Because I mean, if you're also using him, then there's nothing that's interfering anything. But in most cases, these little boys are going to be curved out for this thing. Because I mean, secure
the bag, Barbie. Hair. Come on, we're in the 21st century. That hair ain't going by itself.
It's not going to.
The nails ain't going by themselves.
Definitely not. And if I tell a Varsity boy that I need this, he's not. He'll be like, "Are you insane?"
He's not. He's not
hair.
Vital at
It's
that time.
Okay, I see how.
See what I did there?
Got a lot to say? Well, we want to hear it. Varsity Vitality is a platform for young people to voice their opinions. Look out for our crew on campus and give us your take. Follow at Varsity Vitality on Facebook and Twitter, or visit our website www.varsityvitality.com. Varsity Vitality, your campus heartbeat.
I see how we're talking about like the ups of this industry. But I think it's time we also dwell into like the consequences, like what people get to face whilst they're in these dealerships, these contracts, these what. Because I don't think it's all rosy, you know? Yeah.
It's not.
It isn't all rosy.
Yeah.
To be told, it isn't all rosy. I think for some, from what I have heard, right? Because mind you, I'm not saying I do that, but I'm just saying from what I have heard, it's not so rosy.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's either a sugar baby is going to get attached, and that becomes a problem. Now problems are now arising. It's like you're breaching the contract of being a sugar baby.
Yeah.
So that's now the downside of it.
And also another thing that I once heard, there's a story that once trended of this lady that got involved in an accident with a prominent guy, right? And now this guy was married. And it turns out that my health, like Marizaidiwa at the hospital, no one was providing for her, regardless of the accident being with this certain individual, you know? This was now the family struggle. And they never could afford kumboti munhu ngapinzwe mu avenues clinic or whatever, you know. So I think these are some of the other consequences we don't get to see.
It's a downside.
Yes,
it's a downside. It happens once in a lifetime.
Yes.
But when it does happen, there's a lot of things to consider.
Yes. And because with this attachment that you're mentioning, Kuti, there's no emotional attachment. Because there could be an emergency. Like a boyfriend would do for you genuinely, right? That a sugar daddy can't step out to do for you. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Not only punishing emotion, like this girl, we're talking her spine. Yakato more accident. And yes, this guy was not there to do it for him. Maybe his friends that knew I'm gonna tell him, you know, could have just stepped in to be like, no, and stuff like that. There are also other situations like, you know, sexually transmitted diseases, like sexually transmitted infections, where people are sacrificing for the life of luxury just to be with these people. But it's not all of them, but these are stories that are also out there.
They're real.
That are not really being touched on.
What's also real, Mamii, is something that is happening and apparently it's syndicated, which is the picture or the bigger picture of a marketed lifestyle or a train of young women who are selling themselves on social media in order to rope in more. And we managed to get to hear more about that earlier, but maybe if you can give me insight, because I started over and uncle mustards, but
closed up. Closed up big time. Well, I think it happens because there's this thing when you have what you have, you keep wanting more. And if you find someone who's going to offer you better than that, I mean, if you're a sugar baby on like business wise, that means you don't care. Okay, so at one time I had the story of this girl. So apparently she had, if I can call them, 3 or 4, a boyfriend and 3 other daddies that she had. And she sent a list to each of these people. Like, hey, boyfriend, I need this, 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 and that. You, number 1, I need this, this, this. Number 2, number 3, right? Then it goes on to the day that they had to come and see her. And all of them were parked in the same spot, right? And boyfriend is there, right? And what does he? He calls babe. So I'm here. What's going on? And then she's like, okay, I'm coming down. Just wait. And then number 1 sugar daddy calls. And then he's like, yo, I'm here with your things. And she's like, but I told you to come at 8. This is 9. This is past your time. What are you doing here? This is past your time. I cannot see you.
Administration.
And then number 2 is there as well. He's like, okay, babe, I'm here. You told me to come at 10. I'm here at 10. She's like, great. I'm coming to see you. And the third one also. He's like, babe, I'm here. Sorry, I got caught up. She's like, but your time passed also, dude. Like, that was 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
This is not your time. And apparently she went down, right? And she went to her boyfriend. She's like, baby, just wait. And she went to guy number 1.
Yeah.
She's like, do you have my things?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I do. She's like, okay, fine. Then she's like, friend, please get the stuff, put them inside.
Yeah.
Then she leaves that car and she's like, bye. She goes to the next car. I'm not talking about people parked in different places. It's the same. It's the same spot, guys. It's the same spot. And she goes on to say, did you bring? She's like, okay. So the other guy is trying to talk about, hey, but I'm here now. She's like, but I told you to come an hour ago.
Yeah.
So you are here on someone else's time. And that is not it.
Yeah.
It's like, do you have my stuff?
Observe time.
Yes. And she's like, do you have my stuff? And then he goes on to say, I don't have. Then she's like, goodbye. I don't know what your business is here. And you see, that's a sugar baby kind of business. We're not talking about feelings.
No, she's commercialized the business.
Exactly. She's doing what she has to do.
And you'd be shocked that all these people, like these men, they would come back without even there's another gent.
Right.
Because of some fetish they can actually have here, challenge on him cards. Do you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah.
Because
It's like that.
cards were right. And they find it in this sugar baby. I'm not only two, I'm not confront her. I'm
So
not
is that a
mama.
thing? That's a thing?
Yeah, and he invests more in her. I think
that
it
for
makes
some
sense for that.
people-
Because like for someone to be disrespected, cool zones, listen, I asked someone to bring the same things I asked you and this is not your time. Bye. Normal individual. Salute. Right.
We can't.
But some people that have an actual psychological, in-depth fetish could actually be like, no, man, tomorrow I want to prove that I am the bigger one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, this is all happening on campus. We're talking about varsity kids,
Yeah.
And what only happens is now it also stems to like where you come from. If you're somebody who's just content, you're not going to rope yourself in all of this. And, I would probably say, okay, for someone else not to find yourself maybe robbed into these issues, treat yourself to the basic things.
Okay.
Just say, guys, okay, let's go for dinner as friends. Because when a sugar daddy comes to you and offers to take you for dinner, because it's stuff you do every day with your friends.
Yeah.
And, kana uchiwana mari kana uchimboshanda or something like that, because it's stuff that you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
But
so when
also,
somebody
Barbie,
tries to offer it to you, you're like, I don't know, bro. Like, I already have
Barbie,
it.
I like your point. However, I've also heard of a situation of a daughter of a prominent figure in society, right, who chose that part still, where everything was provided for her, but still went for that. So I think it's something to do with not necessarily where you come from, but who you choose to be.
And being content.
And who you choose to be around.
Around
And
to
who you
influence.
consider.
It's quite
Because
important.
unogona kutumwa kuchikoro ka utori neka allowance kako maybe 1,000. Kuna umwe mwana in this world. Atopa wana baba wake 1,000 mwana wangu nanotinga zoro kuna pay month because people have that money, or even 5,000, but still be caught in these.
Yeah.
Some people wanogona kutungo like not because of the rewards that come. Wanogona kutungo yendra just because maybe with gents her age she couldn't find any luck being. So there's so many different stories that have landed people in this industry. However, it's a thing of being cautious of who you deal with, even if you decide to want to be part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Depending, because who's paying fees for their little brother, who's providing for their family.
Nemari ya sugar daddy.
Nemari ya sugar daddy. Baba wacha stoziza watoto mwana
And
wangu
build
anodai.
houses. People are building houses.
Yes,
guys.
wamatengira wabereki
What?
mota.
Building what?
Houses.
Houses.
I swear. People are building houses.
Some are graduating tuition
I'm telling
from
you.
year 1 to 4 uchibhadhariwa. So
Koista ingofungira kuti ngopera pama license ka.
Shame. This is the
my
411.
investment guy.
This is the 411. People are building
investment.
houses. Title deeds are being got.
Very much.
Exciting
People
times,
are renting
really.
out
What a time to
places
be alive,
they bought
they
through
say.
this hustle. In all, right, I feel like what we can get out of this is not a thing of condoning or challenging or judging anyone that is involved in or considering being involved in it, but rather respecting, their decisions, number one, and advising them to be cautious of whatever we do. Anditi, what we decide to do sometimes does not completely rate who we are as people. Genuinely deep down, you can find like genuinely everything that you'd want in a friend, and you'd have a saint friend who is doing
The most.
so overall, I'm a person that would want to judge people off of their personality and who they've made themselves to being, who they present themselves as. Background job, honestly, I'm not here to judge you, but I'm just here to ask you to be very cautious in what you do and be spirit-led and not peer-led.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And from our guest host, maybe your parting shots.
Well, I don't know. All I can say is it is what it is. Just know what you're getting yourself into. Yeah. But at the end of the day, there are people who just do things and they can't explain it to other people. And that's just how it is. I don't know. Just take care of yourself. Yeah. That's all I can say. I'm no judge.
Yeah, nah. we don't judge here on Varsity Vitality. We're vital in terms of the way we speak. Yeah. And from me, Uncle Curtly, the message to the girl child. I'm sitting next to two beautiful young women who work hard. And I think we should all work hard. Because at the end of the day, the message here on Varsity Vitality is you get through your university, you get through your college. And you may come to a point where you feel like what you're earning isn't enough. But there's a step that is taken. A step is a decision. And if you want to make a difference in your life, you make a decision to be the best person you can be and not be someone who knows madara. It's teacher perao. Madara no perao. Then what? Food for thought. This is Varsity Vitality, your campus heartbeat.